for this evening. And if you think our percussionist and terrified to play with Zakir, think about our guitar players with John. John, would you like to say a word or two?
I have more than a few words. Is this working? Can you hear me all right? Good. Yeah, I have a few words, and I've written them down. I know it may look a little silly and formal, but if I start and keep going, you'll be here till midnight, so I'm going to stick to the script. I'm so moved to be here and be with you all this evening. So, okay, if I can do that, thank you very much. So, the grey hair goes with the glasses. Where's my hat? So, Dean Brown and the members of the board and faculty members, thank you for inviting me to participate in the honoring of Zakir Hussain. As you heard, this is the 50th anniversary of friendship between Zakir and me. Although it seems as if I've known Zakir all my life, and if reincarnation exists, perhaps even in another life. How we met in this incarnation has an element of humor, which I will share with you. In 1968, I decided to start practicing yoga, changing my diet, trying meditation. I'd become deeply influenced by the Indian traditions on these subjects, and of course, it was notable that I discovered Indian music at this time, since it was already being promoted by George Harrison of the Beatles, thanks to the great Pandit Ravi Shankar and his influence on George. However, as a jazz musician, I was more interested in the impact that Pandit Raviji had on John Coltrane, who had also become under the influence of Indian music and philosophy. Raviji's influence was such that it is no coincidence that John Coltrane's son was named Ravi. In any event, by the spring of '69, I found a North Indian flute teacher in New York and was on my way learning the fundamentals of North Indian classical music. My teacher was not such a great player, but at least I was learning the theory. I also became friends with Jim, the owner of a music store in Greenwich Village, where he sold sitars, tablas, and other Indian instruments. And one day I was in the store, and I asked that if ever an Indian musician visited the store, to ask them on my behalf if he or she would give me a lesson in Indian music. A few weeks later, I got a call saying there was someone who would give me a lesson, although since he was a tabla player, the lesson would be vocal. I agreed, fortunately, even though I was nervous, and because I am the worst singer I have ever heard. And I don't mean maybe. I went to the store and was introduced to Zakir. We found a spot in the store and he proceeded to give me a singing lesson. The lesson was very good. He invited me singing. And clearly, Zakir was an excellent teacher. He was very discreet about my atrocious singing. And even though he sang in tune, to call Zakir a singer would be bending the truth a little bit. But that said, he's 1,000 times better than me. At the end of the lesson, we both laughed about the lesson and about our mutual singing. But that we both enjoyed meeting very much, and it was the beginning of a friendship that would change irrevocably in my life. We continued to stay in touch until we met again in 1972 in Los Angeles. CBS, my record company at that time, had organized a performance of a number of artists who could choose, the recipient of that portion of the charity. I was one of the artists, and I'd chosen the Ali Akbar Khan School of Music, since I knew Zakir was the tabla teacher there. Zakir came to the performance in LA, and it was the first time he was seeing me play, and that was with the Mahavishnu Orchestra. The following day, we both flew to San Francisco, having been invited by Ali Akbar Khan to greet him at his house. I was delighted to meet him. He is to this day one of the greatest musicians I have ever met, and I have witnessed performances from Ali Akbar Khan that made my entire body shiver. Just marvelous. By some marvelous coincidence or blessing, I brought an acoustic guitar with me that evening, and Zakir had his tabla with him. And later I suggested to Zakir that we play together, to which he readily agreed. Thank you. Really. And we sat down in front of Khan and played together spontaneously for the first time. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. There was communion immediately, and communion is much greater than simple communication. Playing Zakir is like having telepathy. It is simply amazing. And now, a few years older, I am embarrassed when I think of how unbelievably pretentious I was to sit in front of the great concert. Okay, if we jam. But fortunately, youth has its advantages, because we don't realize we're being pretentious, and anyway, we don't care. So we fast forward to 1973. By this time, I spent a year as an extracurricular student of South Indian Veena Professor Dr. S. Ramanathan, who taught at Wesleyan University in Connecticut. And there was a really good Indian music faculty at Wesleyan. And it was there that I met violinist Dr. L. Shankar, who was the nephew of my guru's accompanist, Mridanga Maestro Dr. Ramnath Raghavan. Al Shankar and I began playing together at home just for fun, but it very quickly became more than that. And one day I asked him if he knew Zakir. And while he'd heard of him, he didn't know him personally. I was so inspired from learning the marvels of Indian music. One day I proposed to Al Shankar that I would invite Zakir and Dr. Raghavan, and together we could all play some small concerts somewhere. Fortunately, they all agreed. And here began the humble origins of Shakti. And from the outset, the experience of Shakti was unique, not only in a musical sense, but also in the sense of the communion of which I spoke earlier. It was beyond anything that I had ever experienced. We continued playing small concerts together, even though I continued playing tours with Mahavishnu, and Zakir continued teaching at Kansab's school and playing concerts. But by the end of 1975, that period of Mahavishnu was over. For my musical development and even personal development as a human being, it became imperative that I abandon all other musical projects in favor of Shakti. I flew to India in December that year to find another South Indian percussionist who replaced Dr. Raghavan, since he was not interested in touring with the group. And it was in Madras where I found the marvelous T.H. Vinayakaram, who became a permanent member of Shakti from that point. The rest is history, and I'm happy to tell you that today, Shakti, with all the ups and downs of life and death, is still alive and well, and a joy to my heart. And until now, I've been speaking about the how I met Zakir and what happened subsequently. And it must be clear to you that my meeting with him changed my life forever, and changed in the most marvelous of ways. To say I'm blessed to have the friendship of Zakir is the vastest of understatements. I cannot imagine how my life would have been without his presence in it. He is utterly unique. His playing is perfection in every way. In fact, I do not have words to describe it. Over the decades and hundreds of concerts we played together, I can say with absolute honesty that he has inspired me in every single one. He is simply phenomenal. He is a perpetual source of inspiration, and my gratitude to him will be forever. Zakir Bhai, you deserve every award.
So, Ustad Zakir Hussain, on behalf of Susan Whitehead, the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Berklee College of Music, our provost Larry Simpson, and myself, we present you with the Berklee Honorary Doctorate of Music degree.